Alright everyone, I'm here with Dan Deputy and his Gadget Machina deck today that took, what you got, fourth overall out of everyone?
Right.
Fourth in rank. It went X1 in Switch, which was 7-1, and then he lost in the top 8, but from what I heard it was very close.
See you later.
So, tell us, what is your build about?
But I think the main thing is I like the gadgets in order to summon and keep card advantage and actually have extra monsters in your hand, like that. And then I like the Machina gear frames to also +1 and add the fortresses to your hand. That's very much like everybody else's gadget deck, not too different. But what's a little bit different about mine is a Cyber Phoenix, which I think is pretty good because you can't target machines with Cyber Phoenix out. And that stops a lot of people's Book of Moons, trap holes, dimensional prisons, stops a lot of stuff. And then the other thing I'd stick in there is a Jinzo and a Jinzo Returner. That doesn't sound that great to begin with, but I also play 2 Solidarities, so you can wind up really doing a lot of damage by attacking with Jinzo Returner directly. And then if you happen to have a Jinzo in the graveyard, when he dies on your opponent's turn, you get the Jinzo out for a while and freeze their traps. So everything was standard, lots of like the Smashing Grounds, Shrinks, Book of Moons, all that part was standard, but the others helped a lot.
So what made you choose gadgets to play at a regional, especially in a format where a lot of people were expecting gadgets and you knew people would be side decking lots of stuff against you?
Well, I just felt like I could do. I tested out a lot of different decks. I tested out, Black Wings, Gadgets, Lightsworn, Hamster, Flamvel, all kinds of things. And I felt like Gadget could stand up against everything, and I could put in counters when I needed to for the decks that I was weak against, and I could put in counters against anti-machine stuff.
Okay, why didn't you run common staple cards like Royal Oppression or Fossil Pachycephalo?
Well, I tried for a while in a couple formats ago. I played Gadgets with a bunch of anti-stuff like Banishers and Pachycephalos and stuff like that. And I just wanted to go all out. I want to take advantage of Solidarity and use all machines. And I felt like I could take advantage of Jinzo through a couple of beans. So I could get around Royal Oppression.
So how do you think the deck ran for you overall?
Ran pretty good. No complaints. I usually had either a gear frame or a gadget, and I could start the machine rolling and drawing stuff. It was when I didn't have either of those that I had a little trouble. But as long as I had some defense to back it up, it worked great.
Did you see any problems with the deck that you might change and play differently later in, say, the next regionals?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that helped a lot was, I forgot to mention, I put a Battle Fader in here in the main deck. And you can use Battle Fader to get, use Battle Fader on your opponent's turn, then you tribute it for Jinzo. My turn, I want to take advantage of to do a little bit more Battle Faders. And Battle Faders don't wind up in your graveyard, so you can still use Solidarity and they go away.
Were you afraid of running into another normal gadget deck that had Oppressions and Fossil Dynas?
I didn't really think about it too much. That if I'd run into that deck, maybe it would have run over me. I don't know. I did have in a side deck, I had a System Down, some Dark Bribes, I had a couple Dusts. I main deck a Dust, main deck a Space, and I side deck a Dust. So it gives me a shot to beat a deck like that. What I also wanted was, I wanted to make sure to give myself a chance to beat Burn on the first duel too. So with the Jinzo and a Jinzo Returner, I got a shot at beating Burn duel 1, which usually you don't have a shot at.
What made you go back to the experimental card Limiter Removal?
Well, that wins games. I mean, I won a couple of duels with Limiter Removal. They don't see it coming. Damage step, boom, Limiter, and as long as you can add up the damage, great. And it gets you. It's just kind of like Shrink gets you out of tight spots.
Okay, is there any cards you might add in here to make it better next time, or you might take out to maybe make it less dead draws, if you can think of any?
My card count is not quite right. I have 42, and I've got, I think I have 20 monsters and 22 spell traps. I'm going to play with that a little bit more. I still need to think about that. The most dangerous thing against this deck is if somebody throws a Cyber Dragon out. So you really got to be watchful of that. The whole duel can turn if they throw down the Cyber Dragon, and in contact views.
Why were you running 2 cyber decking yourself when you knew everybody would be side decking Chimera techs or extra decking?
I was super careful when to play Cyber Dragon, so I would never just throw it out just to do extra damage. I put it out when I wanted to get Jinzo out, tribute for Jinzo, or I used it to dump for Machina Fortress, or if I thought I was going to win a game, or if I knew they didn't have the Chimera track. I was very, very careful about Cyber Dragon.
So basically, you didn't use it how normal people. You didn't use it as a beat stick. You used it as more of a tech card.
Absolutely. And that's
So-
why I didn't mind having the extra monsters in there, because Cyber Dragons, you can throw it out whenever you want to.
Did they ever actually win you some games going into Chimera tech today?
No, I wound up not playing against Machinas. I never needed to. I never played machines. Just once, and I never needed it.
So what did you do for your side deck today?
Side deck, I counted on facing Blackwings, Lightsworn stuff, so I had Light Imprisoning Mirrors, Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors, some Starlight Rose. Wasn't that happy with Starlight Rose. Oh, we gotta go. So kind of usual stuff. I don't think I'll reveal all my side deck secrets.
All right, thank you for your time, and this has been a very interesting conversation. Maybe it'll help some other people make their own gadget decks and not copy everything else they see. Although they'll probably copy this one, but that's just besides the point. It's all people do.
That's okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Goodbye.